A very healthy and good afternoon to everyone who is viewing, tuning in, and who is with us for today's segment. This is Jasper, and welcome to the first week of Catching Waves by yours truly. So, guys, I really appreciate you all for joining me today. I'm very much excited. I'm thrilled to start this segment. But before that, before we dive into it, let me just give you a quick background about me and this program. I am Jasper Ramos, and I am a communication major and an aspiring host. And in this segment, we will be exposing every professional and interview them about their amazing journey and experiences to inspire you, our viewers, with the hope of rekindling your passion. All right, so I am seeing you guys right now. We are going live. So before I introduce, the person who will be interviewing today, guys, I just want to say that you could go share this live video. So we could get a lot of views, and the hope of inspiring other people who needed this segment for today. So this week, the title of our segment for today is Myths, Challenges, and Triumphs in the BPO industry with Miss Amy Baterna. So without further ado, and on that note, the bueno mano for our segment who will be with us today is a 28 years old amazing woman who has been in the BPO industry for 9 years. She started as a customer service representative and has worked her way up to the leadership ladder and is now a team manager. I am very honored and I'm very thrilled to have her with us today. Let's all give a hand. Let's all welcome Miss Amy Baterna.
Hi everyone, good afternoon.
Hi.
And thank you so much, James, for giving me an opportunity to be your first interviewer for
Well,
today.
actually, thank you so much also because we know you have a very busy schedule. Especially this pandemic. I do know that BPO companies right now are in need for manpower with what's happening the economy, and what's needed, because. Well, yeah, that's it. So thank you so much. On that note, thank you so much for
No
being.
worries at all. That is actually very true. The BPO industry has not stopped. It comes to
Yeah.
labor, even with the pandemic and
Yeah,
all. So thank you so much for
I've heard on the
appreciating us.
news that it's the BPO company who hasn't, sila yung mga hindi nag-shutdown during the
Yes,
time of the
that is
pandemic,
very true.
So
Yes.
anyway, with that, how are you? How are you actually?
I'm good. I'm good. It's Saturday, so
Yes.
I'm on off. So off mode today. Hi everyone that's
Yan,
watching.
say hi ng baka may mga
Shout out to Team Amy, to Kari, and to my
Yes.
anaks. Hello.
All right, shout out to you guys.
Share.
Yes, all right. So you guys share this, All right. So with the pandemic, how are you coping up with the pandemic? Especially you're working right now. There's a lot of things to do. So how does the pandemic treating you?
To be perfectly honest with you, during the start, pero na mag-Tagalog, di ba?
Yeah, go on,
During the
Taglish
start,
to.
it was very hard because all of us, I mean, lahat naman tayo were affected really, right? And it was really scary for everyone because you didn't know what's happening and then
Yeah.
everything was shutting down. So during those times, everyone closed up. No one came into work because the president already declared the lockdown and all that. And then we had a continuation plan, and then so the management contacted us and asked us to stay in a hotel so that we don't have to travel, so we wouldn't have a hard time traveling from work to the
Yeah.
office. So we were asked to stay in a hotel. Every one of us, we were given
Yeah.
tests,
Yeah.
the rapid tests and all that para to make sure that everyone is safe. So, shout out to my previous company. Very good action plan.
Okay. Since it's been quite a challenging year for you. What do you have any hobbies that you've learned during this time of pandemic? Anything that pick an interest to you during the time of pandemic?
What really, ano ba? parang yung mind dumbfounded really is yung fact na, because back then the notion of you being part of the industry is that hindi ka nakagraduate, diba? Or you don't really count in the real world like that, diba?
True.
And then when the pandemic hit, if you would see, diba, like what you've said, we did not stop at any cost because we wanted to make sure that everyone is still being catered. Our vendors from the other countries and all that. And then when the news broke that the BPO industry is actually helping the Philippines survive when it comes to economy, it's actually very overwhelming. Kasi diba, at least now we are being appreciated. Diba?
True enough. You might be wondering, guys, kung maka-oo sa kanya, kala mo, I've been working since, I was young. No, I've actually, I just want to know the feels of it, as a worker. The experiences that they have. I want to get that knowledge, that information, so that, we could be empathic and sympathetic during this time on how they were able to cope up with such things, especially this pandemic, So, you're now a TL in your company, all right? So what's your story? How were you able to go up on that position in your life?
Actually, medyo pang Miss Universe yung story ko. Because,
that's fine,
Yeah, because I started off very young when it comes to working, not just sa call center. So, call center na lang para hindi masyadong jargon sa iba.
Yes.
Call center. So, I started off really in working sa just Jollibee. I started off with 33 pesos per hour salary. And then after that, I worked in malls and all of that. So, I just like the average Filipino worker. I started off sa malls and sa mga fast food chain and all of that. And then, I tried to ask people around that have been working in the call center industry, how does it work, or how much salary are you getting and all that, because I did not graduate college. I only took up 2 years in college. So after that, I tried asking around, and then luckily when I found when I got an interview sa isang company back then, luckily, natanggap naman ako. And just like everyone, I started off as a representative. And then afterwards, you started off as support. And then you come up to, you go for interviews para maging team manager and all that. There.
All right. So later on, I will be asking it. So after our break, later, I have a different approach to the topic of the myths or the myths in the BPO industry, because I've researched, all right, you guys, I've researched, okay, so I've researched a lot about how people view agents, all right. So let's just clarify one thing. I think I'm hearing people saying, ay, ano ka, call center ka. Guys, correct me if I'm...
Call center ka lang.
Oh, yeah.
That's the
Call
usual,
center ka lang. Alright, first of all, it's call center agent, because kung call center ka, ikaw yung kumpanya. Am I correct?
Very true. Very true.
So, if you wanna say to an agent, you're a call center agent, it's not, hindi ka, call center ka, because you're referring to the company, okay? So, that's it. So,
Grammar Nazi pala yung kasama ko dito.
So, wala lang, that's just it. What was your foundation? You didn't graduate. Is what you took a bachelor's degree or an associate?
I took up computer programming when I was in college, and I only did that for 2 years because I had to work na.
Oh, okay. So with that being said, I'm sure it was not easy, to just let go of school, and what was the challenge after you graduate?
Actually, it wasn't about me struggling in terms of getting out of school. It was really the mere fact that I was put in a position where I had to help my family out, and so I had to step out of going into school and started really working on my own so that I can gain money so that I can go and help my family out.
Oh, okay. So, that's quite, there are a
Yeah,
lot of
it's a bit of a personal thing, but yeah,
yeah.
that was really my intent of working in the first place. But really, me getting into the BPO or the call center industry is me trying to gain more money or trying to earn more money. Kasi nga, I've heard na malaki yung sahod sa call center.
Yeah.
So there.
So, I've heard that you should be what do you call this? Equipped with you should learn how to speak English first before. Is it true that you should be very equipped in the English language first before going through I mean before applying in the company?
Well,
in BPO?
to answer your question, yes, actually, you at least have to have an average English speaking. Ano ba? Ano ba yung tamang term? I forgot the term.
Proficiency.
Yes, and then conversational wise, you can carry a conversation and all that. And then back in the day, sa mga manatagal na sa BPO, back in the day, actually, there are a lot of requirements. Like, kailangan graduate ka ng ganito, or dapat naka 4 years ka, or dapat nakatungtong ka ng college and all that. And then, so, as the years go by, nagkaroon na ng, syempre, naging lenient na sila because they know that, just like in other countries, your educational background does not really perceive who you are as a worker. So medyo
it's
naging
more of their
lenient na sila.
experience
Yes,
as
very
far as
true.
I know.
And more of how you really converse or how you deliver yourself, di ba, when you're on the phone. So dati, kailangan college graduate ka or 4 years or 2 years at least. Ngayon, medyo lenient na sila. So, meron na ng mga high school graduate. Tapos, hindi na lang siya para sa mga English-speaking agents. Meron na rin tayong meron na rin tayong kinakater na mga Philippine na companies, ganon. So, there. So, medyo, na siya, versatile na siya ngayon. Mas marami na pwedeng i-embrace si call center ngayon.
Yeah.
Before.
Well, that's definitely true because I had an experience naman with BPO company, but I mean joining in a BPO company, but it's also it's just
Short period.
A short period. It's a seasonal account,
Yeah.
so that's why I had the feels of it. So before we go through. Before we push through or before we move forward to the topics that we're gonna be talked about, we will have a short break, of course, guys. Yes. So before we had our break, let me just give a shout out. All right, a shout out to Jillian Luis Bantillo. Hello. All right. So later on we will be having more shout outs. So you guys, I've seen. Okay, we've reached 1 million viewers right now. No, I'm kidding. We've reached
Thank you
more.
for the viewers.
We're having 38 viewers and more, 36 viewers and more. So I'm hoping you guys share this to your friends even more. All right. And with that being said, Catching Waves will be back.
Ang DZGG Broadcasting Studio online stream services
All right, and we are back. All right, that was a quick break. We are back with Catching Waves by yours truly. So time check for the time check is 12:16. All right, it's already 12:16 in the afternoon. All right, guys. So thank you so much, guys, for still tuning in. All right, keep sharing, keep liking, keep viewing, you can, guys, will be interactive in this segment. So if you guys have questions to our guest, I think she will be freely answer your questions. All right, so you can ask questions, for your own personal learnings. Maybe there are things you're really pondering about ever since, maybe there's a fear in you na baka hindi kayo makapasok sa ano. Maybe you could ask Amy rather, Miss Amy with those kinds of questions. Okay, so again, here with us again is Miss Amy Baterna. All right, so yeah, what do you call this? Yeah. Continuing our conversation later. So you graduate ever since you're 18 or
Yes.
yeah. So a BPO company is not your first choice.
Yes.
Wow.
First job, rather.
Yeah, but what do you really want to pursue during those times?
Oh, when I was young, I was really into education. So I wanted to be a teacher. And then after...
We're quite the same, During my high school moments, I really want to be an
Yes,
English
true.
instructor. So, and then you didn't try to pursue it na because...
Because the financial issues, I had to work. And kasi I think this goes out to everyone. When you start earning na, you feel like, you can do it
Yeah.
all, diba? Kasi I have the money na.
When
I
you
can
have
buy
the
everything. I don't
yes,
have to
yes.
go back to school. But then, alam mo, that's something that you'd actually be very proud of with not just me, but with the people in the industry. Because there are really people that would go into school in the morning and then they would
those
come
working
in at night.
students.
Yeah.
I have many of in my school we have a lot of working students, and I salute every working students who's balancing their physical health, emotion, mental health. It's not easy to work in I believe every BPO company is a graveyard shift, meaning that
Not really. There are some
Oh.
that are in the morning.
Oh, okay.
It depends on what you cater.
but mostly
are in the night.
the
yes.
night shift. All right, so I mean, imagine that having a 3 hours a sleep, and then waking up, and then you need to start again your day by studying and having the thought of how are you able to go through your day again and again. So
Yes, true.
was it tiring for you?
Especially when I was starting.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because my mom would wake me up kasi habang natutulog ako, nagsasalita daw ako, hello, thank you for calling. Yes, because, I mean, yes, this is what I would normally say to my agents, to my reps. Yes, the BPO industry might be one of the highest paying jobs in the industry, but it's also one of the most stressful jobs in the
Yeah.
world. Imagine you're not an accounting graduate, pero you have to explain the bill to the
Yeah.
customer. You're
Oh
not,
my God.
yeah, diba? And you have to do sales pa, and then actually most of the time, most of the customers would really curse at you, diba? They would
Yeah.
shout at you like at the top of their lungs, saying that you're stupid and all that. Because syempre that takes a toll in your mental health, diba? If once you go home, di ba parang, oh my God, ang tali-talino kong tao, ba't niya akong minura-mura? And you would hear that from the people, especially if they're new in the industry. Kaya nga, what most people do is that they work while they're studying, and then once they graduate, they go to what they really want to pursue in life. They just use it kasi nga, syempre, money-wise, it's really sufficient. It would really help you, di ba? But really, if you don't have a strong mental capacity, it would really take a toll on you.
Yeah, I do have an experience on that during my seasonal account experience in this company, wherein I do believe I am capable in speaking in the English. I do believe that I'm capable in communicating with this customer. But irate customer, I think that's what you call it in the BPO.
Yeah,
irate
irate
customer.
customers,
Irate
yes.
irate customers are those when you pick up the phone and they just what do you call this? They just curse on you. They just go all out on you with their
Yes.
anger. So it's really anong tawag?
Don't get it wrong, ha? It's the call center industry na nagkikater ng other countries is basically the same sa call center natin dito sa Pilipinas. Let's say you call a provider, di ba? Your cellphone provider or your internet provider, tas meron kang issue sa bill mo or chinarge ka ng ganito. It's basically the same. Yun nga lang sa atin, we're speaking in ng Tagalog, di ba? So, pag tumawag ka, ay nako, bakit ka charge ng ganito? So, try imagining that na iba yung language ng kausap mo, di ba? Tapos sinumura, bakit ganun? Hindi naman
You would really ask yourself, no, parang, am I worth
ako
it?
ba to?
Am I worth yung dignidad
may
ko?
kasalanan.
True,
Oo.
true, you know.
Parang si Maeve, inaaway niya yung mga customer niya. Joke lang po. Kasi
Alright.
minumura daw siya.
Alright, those stressful moments, what do you do in your free time, since, BPO, it's well, every job is stressful, but during your free time, what do you do to relax yourself,
On a daily basis, alam mo kaya, di ba, sinasabi nila na ang daming bisyo ng mga taga-call center. Kasi nga, during your 15-minute break, so imbes na magstay ka sa station mo, syempre magta-try ka mag-vent out sa mga katrabaho mo. So even if you're not smoking, you would go to the smoking area para makipag-chismisan sa iba. Kasi you can't speak in Tagalog while you're on the floor. So lalabas ka, punta ka sa smoking area, or after shift, magkakayayaan na mag-eat out, kumain sa labas, or mag-lunch out, para lang at least, di ba, makapag-de-stress kayo. And what we normally do, kasi there should be a balance still in the call center industry, they're very big in engagement. So they try to make sure that we add fun to everything that we're doing on a daily basis. So there are team gatherings before, nung hindi pa pandemic, syempre, may mga team building, may mga outings, and all of those are catered by the company.
Oh, so it's free for you guys, I'm gonna go ask the question. The myths, or there are notions that agents, BPO or customer service agents are irresponsible. There are things that they just whenever they smoke, they just throw away their cigarettes everywhere. When they drink coffee, you drink coffees a lot. I believe you just put it in everywhere. You don't put it in the right place, in the right in the trash can. So is that true?
Actually, I can't speak for everyone, but in every company there are rules naman. So you can't loiter, 'di ba? Or litter kasi nga magagalit yung mga guards. So there are rules, and especially in your workstations, you get sanction kapag makalat yung workstation mo and all that, because papers are not allowed. Anything where you can jot down customers' information are not allowed. So I can't say for everyone, but for me and for the people that are closest to me, we are very, very responsible, especially if we're eating outside, or we're like trying to go on a gimmick or something. We take care of everything that's there. Lalo na kasi ako galing ako sa sa fast food, so medyo diba? Ganon. So I can't really speak for everyone.
And actually, it's a matter of being responsible you yourself. Let's not take it generally na this BPO agents they will be branded as someone who are irresponsible because of one person's
action. Yes.
action,
and I don't
right?
think it's fair because kahit naman hindi ka taga-call center, you would see people, di ba, throwing trash and all that. So I don't think it's proper for someone to be labeled that.
Yeah. Next, there are also rumors that third parties are, what do you call this? There are third parties affair in the. I mean, is that true?
Someone's commenting, Ian Knowles, is it true thou that third parties are very blatant in the industry? Pakisagot naman. No, I think, again, we cannot just refer to one person's action, diba? An individual's action. So I think it's more of going back to being responsible, not just in throwing trash and all that. Yung responsibility mo sa sarili mo, when nung nag-apply ka, may pamilya ka and all that, diba? You should be responsible of that. I think it's being or the industry is being labeled that way because we have social media now, right? So people tend to post things na nagtatrabaho sa ganito, jowa ni ganito, and all that. And I've seen a couple of that in the industry. Yes, it is happening, but I think it's their
It's their
it's
personal
your yes.
choice to do that. Let's not overgeneralize.
I mean, even
it.
if you're not in the industry, it's
Yeah,
happening.
there are
so
a
don't
lot.
just
Okay.
label it in the industry itself.
Yes. So how about there are also sayings that BPO agents are social climbers. What's your take on that?
That's
they're like
really
to post
funny.
their coffees, their Starbucks coffees.
Oy, pero I had my fair share of that. If I'm not, if I'm being honest. Kasi syempre, when I started off, hindi pa naman, like with the millennials right now, hindi pa naman uso sa kanila yung kape-kape and all that. Unlike dati, sa season namin, hindi pa naman uso yung mga ganun eh.
Yeah.
Ang uso, kain ka lang sa fast food, tas okay ka na. So, I had my fair share of that, but then I think it's more of the maturity of an individual eh. Hindi lang dahil sa industry, because you would see people posting even if they're not part of the industry, di ba? I think it's the maturity of an individual. Should I post this, or is this something that I can share? But I don't think it's being a social climber.
Well, yeah, I my take on that is actually it's a bragging right. Pinagpaguran ko to. I had a sleepless night having calls to catering people all around the world. So I want to share this because this is my joy. This is dugot pawis ko yung pinagpaguran ko dito.
Very true. Diba? And if someone posts that, who are we to
judge? I mean,
judge
you
that
can keep
person,
scrolling
diba?
down,
Diba? I don't judge you nga for posting BTS or anything. Bakit, diba?
You're a fan. I believe you're a fan of BTS.
Diba? So why judge other people? Our director is laughing.
Alright, well, that's quite interesting. And so I hope I do learn a lot. I'm much secured now that let's not overgeneralize things that one person do in one company.
That is very true. That is very true.
All right, so okay, so applying in the BPO industry or being a customer service representatives, how does that change your life?
How did it change my life? Big time, really. Because, like, again, looking back, I didn't graduate college. College. So, back then, I was thinking na hanggang dito na lang yung career ko and all that. But, the industry actually helped me a lot because I came to a realization that there are a lot of opportunities which we can probably discuss more. Oy, shoutout nga pala sa mga viewers. Hello po sa Team A, sa original na Team A, tsaka dati kong mga agents. Hello po.
Alright, so with that, we're gonna postpone what we're discussing because we're gonna have another short break, alright? So, para lang maging interesado pa kayo. And I hope you guys still, later on, we will be having our shout out, for you guys. So, with that, Catching Waves will be right back.
Ang DZGG Broadcasting Studio online stream services ay nilikha para sa sambayan ng Pilipino sa loob at labas ng bansa na naglalayong maglingkod sa pamamagitan ng paghahatid ng mga impormasyon. DZGG is a proud member of the Philippine Online Broadcasting.
All right, and we are back again with Catching Waves with yours truly. Okay, so before we go on to the discussion uh, of the BPO industry with Miss Amy Beterna, we just want to I just want to personally shout out Mr. Ferrari Malik, Mr. Mark Herbert. All right, so thank you guys for watching. My mom who's watching, Ms. Nerly Guillermo Ramos, and of course to my father who's watching this, Mr. Romel Ramos. Thank you, mom and dad first. Mom and dad, wow. Pag off cam niya tawag ko silang mama and papa ko. Pero ayan, thank you for supporting me. Okay, so later on we will be continuing before we end this program. We will be doing a shout out to everyone. Okay, so may mga questions dito, Miss Ami. This is a funny one. Sabi ni Umay kay Marky. All right, ano po favorite yosi ng mga taga BPO? Do you have any particular
Hello po
cigarettes?
ulit. First off, shoutout daw po kay Rolison Ibea. Tsaka kay Mark David Rionico. Kay Stuart Roca. Hello po sa mga babies ko. Sa favorite Yossi, my God, hindi ko po alam. Kasi hindi po ako nag-Yossi. Wala pong katotohanan yan.
I think it's written all over your face, though. And a lot has been disagreeing. All right, so alright, continuing, the discussion that we have.
Inaasar nila ako, sabi nila sa comment section, Pepsi or Coke daw ba?
Yeah, so
Hindi po kasi ako nagkakape. So, may history po yung Coke. Hindi po ako nagkakape. So, every time po nasa office ako, Coke po yung iniinom ko para hindi po ako inaanto. Kasi yung ibang tao kape, di ba? Ako Coke, para hindi ako antokin. Kasi di ba, syempre may electrolytes.
So, if we're gonna give you a choice, water or Coke, you definitely choose Coke. Guilty as charged. She's guilty as charged. Alright, so
mas yung mga agents ko po normally kapag pero mabait po akong TL, di po ako nagmumura, di po ako nagmumura. Pero pag po nila na sad ako.
Coke considerate.
Coke po yung binibili nila sa akin, Coke at Peewee.
Wow. pag alam na nilang parang galit si Miss Amy, let me present this a Coke and a Peewee.
Kaya natatag tuloy ako na puro Coke lang iniinom ko. Pero wala pong katotohanan yun.
All right, so moving forward, yan. Setting jokes aside na. On a serious note. All right, so I'm actually a communication major, and we have classes. We have classes fundamentals in BPO, and I'm guilty as charged that on my first take when I hear BPO. As a person who is studying and financially stable naman at some point, my first notion during those time is that I don't want to end in a BPO company.
Yes.
So I will study for 4 years, and then ang end up ko lang is a pagiging BPO or call center agent.
Yes.
So what's your take on that? There are a lot of the word is belittling. They are belittling call center agents because it doesn't require a degree, though it just requires your communication skills and whatnot. But what's your take on that?
Well, if we're being honest here, dito naman talaga sa country natin, sobrang big naman talaga when it comes to your educational background, 'di ba? So, medyo big deal talaga 'yon. And if I'm being honest, kaya din naman ako pumasok sa industry is because yung tingin ko nga is hindi naman ako graduate. So, bakit 'di ba, maghanap na lang ako ng work na malaki yung pay kahit na hindi naman parang hindi siya popular amongst everyone. So, I think the notions really started kasi kadalasan na nag-a-apply o nagtatrabaho sa industry is hindi graduate, 'di ba? Hindi or madalas hindi naman ganun ka stable in life. So, yun nga natatag as social climber.
Yeah.
Kasi nga, dahil pa nagkapera na, they would post stuff and all that. I think it's not wrong for you to really look into what you want to do in life, 'di ba? If you're major communications major, that's on you. That's what you want to do in life, 'di ba? And nobody should have anything against that. But if you want to be part of the industry too, and it's fine. It's 100% fine. But for people that are outside of the industry, I think especially with what's happening right now in our economy, everyone should have a bit of an insight of what the industry does in the country, di ba? Na it's not just, call center ka lang or sa call center ka lang nagtatrabaho and all that. As you can see, the BPO industry is the one that's really helping our economy right now.
Agree.
Diba?
I totally agree
like,
on that.
70% of the finances or the economical status
especially
of the Philippines right now
when
is
the pandemic
coming from the industry. Kasi nga, 'di ba, naririnig nyo naman yung iba, 'di ba? I saw this meme before na pag typhoon level number 1, wala daw pasok yung elementary. Tapos pag typhoon level number 2, wala yung high school. Tapos pag third college. Tapos 4, 5, 6 daw, may pasok pa rin daw yung call center. Kasi really, 'di ba? Hindi kasi siya basta-basta lang eh. Hindi ka naman basta-basta lang nagtatawag eh.
Yeah.
Pagdating mo doon, you're helping someone with their finances, kung nasa collection, kung nasa financial, account ka, 'di ba? You're helping someone make sure na meron silang kuryente, internet, 'di ba? And all that kasi marami, hindi lang naman siya nag-e-end sa nagtatawag ka tapos minumura ka ng customer mo eh. It's not as simple as that, 'di ba? And if you would look at it in the bigger picture, I'm not sure if everyone can relate to this. Siguro yung mga nasa industry, they would get it. Pero pag andun ka na kasi, there are hierarchies. Kasi hindi naman yung magiging call center lang na may nagtatawag lang ng agent eh. Merong boss na may kipag-usap sa kliyente para kunin yung manpower, 'di ba? Para sa amin mapunta yung calls. Kasi kung hindi, wala tayong magiging kita and all that, 'di ba? In a bigger scale. So there are things na hindi lang siya nag-e-end sa call center agent ka lang. Kasi if you would look at me, I did not graduate, but I'm part of the management team.
And you are a team leader now.
'Di ba? And it's not because and it's not just yung fact na hindi ka nakagraduate, pero 'di ba you worked hard for you to get there. Hindi naman porket pagkaano mo kasi siya na yung pinakamatagal, siya yung natin. No, it's really based on your performance. There are a lot of metrics that they would look into bago ka ma-promote.
And there are qualifications.
Yes, very true.
I want to ask, this is kind of, I don't know if it's going to be personal to you, but have you experienced discrimination? In a sense of inferiority because you're a woman, you don't deserve to be on top, or during when your agent position. What had you had that kind of experience?
Of course, yes. Especially with my friends who have graduated sa college, tapos may mga kanya-kanyang profession. Siyempre, when you guys would gather around or eat out or drink or whatever, di ba, syempre papag-uusapan yung work and all that. Tapos parang, ikaw, sa call center ka lang, ganyan.
Yeah.
That's actually one of the reasons why I really worked my way up in getting promoted. Kasi parang, hindi lang ako call center lang. Akala niya maganon lang kadali yun. Oh my God. So, that's one of my motivating factors for me to get promoted. And aside from that, it's tiring to talk to someone for 8 hours, di ba? So, you go through that phase na parang, oh my God, is this just me? Di ba?
You're about to question yourself, really.
Question yourself, and yung mental state mo, you would really ask yourself na parang, oh my God, hanggang pagtanda ko ba, ito na lang yung gagawin ko, may kipag-usap na lang ako sa customer habang buhay, diba? So you try to look at other opportunities. So I got into a phase wherein, wag na kaya ako mag-call center, maghanap kaya ako ng ibang trabaho and all that. Pero if you would look at it, sa industry, sa call center industry, sobrang dami ng opportunities. I mean, you would see people there na high school graduate lang or first year lang sa college, pero ngayon mga boss na. At I mean, not to brag, but other people that are working in the industry are actually earning about $500,000 every month kapag nandun ka na sa mga level ng executives and all that. half a million, million, you get an incentive for a million, half a million, $100, 100,000 pesos. Yung mga ganung bagay. Actually, there are a lot of perks of being part of the industry.
Oh yeah, and it's not just about it's convenient. It's also about the passion that you put into your work. It just like you said, it's not easy to talk to different kinds of customers.
Yes.
It also yung energy mo pa will depend on their emotion on how will you.
Yes, very true, very true.
It's exhausting. It's tiring. You will sit. Yes, you will just sit all day there, but in exchange for that, it's your it's your physical, but also your
Totoo.
mental, even your spiritual self. It will be challenged in that circumstances. I want to say thank you to every to every agent, BPO call center
To
agent,
everyone
to
that's
everyone
working
also.
in the industry and helping the
Yes,
economy,
definitely.
regardless of the situation. Thank you.
But you've said that you've questioned yourself if you want to change, if a door has opened to you, would you grab that opportunity and leave the BPO industry? Let's say the opportunity was to be you said you'd like to be a teacher. So let's say you'd be a professional teacher in a college or in a high school. Would you give up everything in the BPO industry and just live for
You know what? To be perfect, sige, going back to that, yes, when I was young, I thought of being an educator, a teacher. Tapos, as the years go by, when I got to be part of the industry at naging part ako ng training, sabi ko sa sarili ko, hala, ayoko pala nito kasi it's exhausting. Kasi you get to say the same thing over and over hanggang sa magets ng tao, di ba? There are different departments kasi when you get to the industry. So there's production, merong training team and all that. And I thought that was the thing for me. So I went for training before, and it's not that I didn't like it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as me being a team manager and mentoring people. When I got part of the production team at nag-start na ako mag-mentor ng tao na, alam mo yun, kasi na-realize ko na hindi lang siya nag-e-end sa gawin mo to, ganito dapat yung inaano mo. It's more of really helping someone hone their skills, 'di ba? Motivating them. Kasi hindi mo naman din tutulungan sila kung kung ikaw hindi mo na experience first hand, 'di ba?
Yes.
So, there.
So before we took a very short break, one last question is what's your biggest joy in the in you're a team leader now. What's your biggest joy in training this agents of yours?
My biggest joy is getting someone promoted.
Wow.
So, yes. So, hala, naiyak ako.
It's okay. This is
Yeah, so
it's a safe space.
I would say I have helped a lot of people. Number one, be part of the industry, and then secondarily, to help them get promoted. Kasi di ba para na-enhance nila yung skills nila at hindi nila maisip na ay hanggang dito lang ako. Di ba parang akalain mo yung mga agents ko noon, ayan, tulad ni Rollison Ebeya na pala absent dati. Di ba? Nila Venus Canicula, nila Paul Corpus na pala absent dati. Di naman where they are at right now and how much are they earning, di ba? Yun talaga yung biggest takeaway mo doon
Okay.
'Di ba? Nakakatuwa.
All right. So thank you very much. All right. So we will still be, we will have a very 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 short break and we'll get back to you guys again. So ayan, may mga nagko-comment na, marami ng mga nagko-comment. So keep on sharing, keep on liking, and keep on tuning in with us here at Catching Waves, and we'll be right back.
Ang DZGG Broadcasting Studio online
Alright.
Sabi mo na lang.
Alright, and we are back at Catching Waves, you know. Alright, so thank you guys for still tuning in with us today. Ayan, so hi to Gilier Laurente, ayan, Carl Ethan Tampus, Jennifer Relies, and Kyla Hernandez. Ayan, those are my friends, so thank you guys. Later on, we'll be doing the shout out to... Alright, so later on, we will still continue to shout out to other people who's with us today. You know, there are a lot of people who are commenting. There are a lot. I think you guys are interested. You know, if you have something that you've been pondering about ever since, you know, in line with the BPO industry, or in line in the industry in general of being a call center agent, yeah, feel free to ask questions. Or maybe are there any questions? Not yet. And so I think you guys, since
for
they're
being flooded with a lot of comments from my previous colleagues. So thank you anyways, guys.
well, I think with that kind of with what they're telling, or with what we're commenting, I think they are very much satisfied with what you're discussing. Right? They think they are
Am I
enjoying.
giving justice to the industry,
Yes.
guys?
Right now you are representing the
Yes,
whole
very
BPO
true.
company and the BPO industry. Okay. So, moving forward, all right. We will it's about I think we only have 20 or 15 minutes before we end this program. And with that, this will be my last question, all right? So, what are the biggest takeaway, and what are your biggest takeaway, and what can you say to people that want to be part of the industry?
Okay. Thank you so much for that wonderful question. I feel like I'm your bias. I'm kidding. But my biggest takeaway really is we should not judge someone based on what they do in life, diba? Regardless if you're regardless if you're just selling buko, or you own a small company, a small tea shop, or whatever, or being part of the industry, you should not belittle someone just because of what they do for a living.
Yeah.
Because everyone is really trying to work their way in just living on a daily basis,
True,
diba?
true.
We all have our motivation. Some money, some career, diba?
Some love.
Some pumapasok sa work.
Some love.
Yes. So, do not ever judge someone, because you might see someone na would go out in rugged clothing and all that, pero may ari pala ng mall,
yeah.
diba?
True.
So do not ever judge someone. And I think what's really important, being part of the industry, what's really important is taking care of your mental health, because a lot of things can be said about you. You'd be bullied. On a daily basis, you get to be cursed by people that don't actually know you, diba?
Definitely.
Diba? You get scolded by your bosses, diba? You get sanctions for things that you did not do intentionally and all
Yes.
that. So take care of your mental health. If you feel like this is something that's not working for you, then you try and look for other things that would help you. Because money will always be there, regardless of your job. Money will always be there. It's more of finding your inner peace and knowing what's really good for you.
And what's
diba?
really important to you.
What can I say to people that wants to be part of the industry? Study. Study
Yeah.
in a way that, ano ba yung mga normal na questions
Yeah.
kapag nagpapa-interview? Ano ba yung dapat kong isagot kapag ganito? Diba? Huwag tayong sasagot ng, pag tinanong kayo, why should we hire you? Because you're hiring. Diba? Oh. Diba? Do
really people do?
Yes. I had this instance before. Sabi ko, can you walk me through on how you traveled from your house to here? Ang sagot ni ate mo, ay, hindi po kaya. Sabi ko, no. Sabi ko, how did you travel from your house to here? Sabi niya, ay, hindi po talaga kaya. Darling. So, diba, things such as that, study. prepare yourself before you come in an interview, regardless if it's part of the industry or not. Before you come in into an interview, you prepare yourself, diba? You dress well, you should look appropriate, you should know how you would perceive yourself, diba? Present yourself to the next person. Kasi paano ka nga naman matatanggap sa isang bagay, ano kala mo dito, basta-basta lang, diba?
But it's also, I think it's also important, well, we don't know the person, but I think what's most suited to do in that kind of situation is that we educate them.
Yes, very true.
And maybe they will be given another chance, we cannot say. Anyway, there's one question here, all right, so I hope you're ready and prepare for this question by Miss Algeline Makwidang. I hope I pronounced that correctly. She asked that, balita ko po sa call center maraming scammers na hindi nagbabayad ng utang. Kahit daw po sobrang close na kaibigan mo pa, i-scam ka. Totoo po ba yun? Paki-clarify naman po.
Marami pong mga ganyan actually. Kasi nga, diba, when you're part of the industry, you get to be approved for loans and all that. But again, I don't think you can justify one person's action towards the industry itself, diba?
So, well, we do not know, maybe, right, na nagkataon lang na
true.
that these scammers would really do this in
Minsan
this
nga,
job.
kahit kamag-anak mo, diba?
Oh my God. Sure. I hope Miss Amy. All right. So I hope Miss Amy answered your question, Miss Algeline. All right. So may another question. This is kind of personal by Mr. G. Laureño. Single or taken po, Miss Amy?
Next question po.
All right. So. Okay, so if you want to know, so please do. Maybe you could plug in if you want to know more about her, Miss Amy Laureño, maybe you could plug your TikTok. I do believe you have a YouTube account, you have a TikTok, you have a Facebook.
No, I don't have a YouTube account. Social ko naman I have a YouTube account. No, I don't. I do TikTok for fun. I wanted to have a podcast just like this, but I don't think it would permit me having a kid and all.
No, who knows in the future, maybe I need a co-host in the future. I could ask you to be a co-host.
Partner with you.
Yes,
wow.
partner with me, and we could interview more people who are in the different kinds of sectors of the industry,
True.
So with that being said, thank you very much. Thank you, Miss Amy, for taking time. I've definitely learned a lot. I think
wow.
I'm satisfied myself that what about these notions, about these myths, the challenges. Thank you for sharing your experience with us today. There are a lot of opportunities out there, and if it's if you think BPO is for you, and if you think that the ones that knocking in your door is the BPO industry, we don't have the luxury to choose, especially during this pandemic.
Yes, especially in these times.
And maybe it's not your passion, but why don't we? Passion is being built through time. What you like is your personality, your growth is being through time, not with your age. All right, it's with your experience, and maybe you would grow into that and would love to be part of the BPO industry. All right, so thank you so much. We will now do our shout outs. All right, so shout out to Ian Knowles, Ian Knowles, Jen Mahusay, Jillian Luis Bantillo,
kay Clyde Cowrie,
Umay kay Markio, alright, Mr. G. Laureño,
Yogi
Mr.
De
Leon,
JR Mendoza,
Nerly Ramos, Ferrari Malik, Emmanuel Mecayer, Daniel P. Puzon, Rolizon
Ibea,
Jamie, EJ Ortega, Johnsky Delarmente.
Yes.
My father.
Maeve Dennis. Go.
No, it's fine. Mr. Romel Ramos. All right,
Maeve Dennis Uy. Carol Almario.
And Christine Kyla Polot. Maria Janine
Kay Janine?
Abdi from Queens, New York.
Hi din kay Pong.
Pong. We have viewers internationally,
True.
from Queens, New
From
York.
New York.
We also have Miss Nicole Guillermo, Venus
Venus
Canicola,
Canicola, RC Pelayo,
Jelay Ortega,
Merabetty Edel, Paul Corpus,
Yeah.
Dino Calapati,
Dos Guillermo,
Stuart Roca,
Dos Guillermo, who is our
Director
technician.
for, yes.
And
today.
our director, of course, Mr. Boyet Guillermo. Thank you so much for having me and having Miss Emily
Yes.
with this program. Miss
Stuart, Stuart Roca, Mark Rionico,
Miss
Reyes.
Jennifer Reyes, Kyla Beatriz, all right, I've mentioned this already, Guillermo Laurente, Carl Ethan Tampus, who is in Canada, by the way. I told you guys, we're going internationally.
Wow.
Next week, I believe we will reach 1 million viewers. Kidding. Miss Alisa Consul, Ina Flores, and lastly, Miss
Jenny.
Alright, so thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Miss Ami. Again, thank you for spending time with us today. Your success is truly amazing. I learned a lot. I've learned a lot about what we've discussed. All right. So and of course, how can I forget our dear viewers? All right. So guys, I do know that you've enjoyed this. So I hope you keep on liking. You keep on subscribing, commenting, viewing, tuning in with us every Saturday. All right, every Saturday. Again, this is Catching Waves by Jasper with yours truly. All right, and all right. All right, we have another program, the Balita Pilipinas Worldwide by Mr. Boyet Guillermo. All right, my one and the person who made this possible. This program possible. This whole thing possible. You know. It will be from Monday to Friday, 5 to 6 p.m. And mga awiting magpapaalala sa inyo. All right, by Mr. Dos Guillermo every
yes.
1 p.m. to 2 p.m. All right. So thank you so much, guys. This is definitely a success. Again, tune in. Next week we'll have another guest. You know, it's gonna be more. We'll have more discussion. It will be knowledgeable, informative, and it'll make sure you guys are enjoying.
And
all
if
right?
you want to guess, diba? Kasi
Yeah,
we're
if you
looking
have,
for,
we're also looking for, of course, maubusan tayo ng-
professionals that would
yeah, if
can
you
get
guys are, you want to share your experience with the profession that you are in right now, you want to share it to other people so that they would have the glimpse and the things that they should be prepared for, and maybe rekindle their passion again, maybe rekindle their passion in that kind of what do you call this, profession. All right, so thank you very much. Thank you again, Miss
Thank you.
Ami. All right, this is unending. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Saranghe.
All right, so see you guys again for next week. Again, it's 12 noon to 1 p.m. So thank you guys. Have a good day. This is Catching Wave by yours truly, Jasper. Catching Wave is a segment under the DZGG Studio.